Hello, good morning, children. Let's continue the rest part of the chapter 3, The Little Girl. So, in this video, children, I am going to detail paragraphs 8, 9, and 10. So, let's see the lines. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped, you can see the line. Here, children, now Kezia was so afraid. Kezia was so afraid, and you know the reason why she was afraid, because she was punished. Her father hit the palms of her hand with a ruler because she had torn some important papers of her father's meeting and had stuffed into a cushion. So she was being beaten by her father. So Kezia was so afraid. You can see the meaning here. Wrapped. Wrapped means covered. Okay. So she had got beating. Her father had hit her small little palms with the ruler, and many hours later her grandmother wrapped meaning covered her in a shawl and was trying to pacify her. Okay, here rocking means to become moved forward and backward. So grandmother came to protect her. Okay, she covered in a shawl and started rocking her in the rocking chair to make her cool, to make her calm. So rocked meaning to become moved backward and forward. So, and was trying to pacify her. She made her sit on her lap on a rocking chair, and she was trying to put Kezia to sleep. And Kezia clung to her grandmother. Meaning of clung, children, to attach yourself to something. Okay, to attach yourself to something. So here Kezia attached, she held her grandmother tightly. And Granny was trying to put Kezia to sleep because she was being punished by her father. Coming to the next line, what did God? Can you see the line, children? What did God make fathers for? She sobbed. Sobbed meaning cried. So Kezia was still not comfortable. She was crying, and she said that God should not have made father. She was crying because she was being punished, beaten by her father, and she said that God should not have made father. She hated her father. She was so innocent. She didn't know what wrong she had done. She was just preparing a gift for him. She was heartbroken. She was sad, upset, disappointed, as he did not understand her, and said that God should not have made fathers. Actually, it is Kezia's opinion about her father, because she is watching her father, that her father is strict, harsh and hard, and she thinks that her father is so strict that always seems to be punishing her, always seems to be rude in his behavior. So she thinks that she doesn't like her father, and she doesn't want a father like her father. Coming to the next line, now here is a clean. See the line? Clean hanky. Now Kezia's grandmother was trying to pacify her. She was trying to assure her, pacify her, to calm her, okay, to make her calm. She gave her a handkerchief, that is hanky handkerchief, to blow her nose in it and go to sleep. She added that by morning Kezia would forget the beating. So grandmother thought that if she sleeps well, nicely, then next morning she might forget everything. She might forget the beating, the punishment of her father. Kezia tried to justify herself. She said that she was trying to explain to him the reason for tearing the sheets of paper. but he was not ready to listen to her. Actually, Kezia thinks that she has not done the mistake knowingly. It was not her intention to do that. She has done it unknowingly. So she wanted to give the reason to her father for tearing the sheets of paper, but father did not listen to him. So again we see that the little child was so innocent, she did not realize that her father hit her to teach her a lesson, so that she did not touch anything that didn't belong to her. So here it is shown that Kezia was a little child. She was so innocent also, and she didn't realize that her father has punished her to give her a lesson, so that in future she must not touch anything that did not belong to her. Okay, children? Now coming to the next line, but the child never. Now come to the next line, but the child never. Now Kezia's mother, see children, you can see, blow your nose, go to sleep, pet, you will forget all. Pet, that's the word she has used, Kezia, to pacify her. Okay, lovingly she called her, so that Kezia will be calm and she will have a peaceful sleeping. Coming to the next line, but the child never. Now Kezia's grandmother had told her to go to sleep, and that by morning she would forget the beating that her father gave her. But Kezia never forgot the beating that she had got. Whenever she saw her father approaching, coming closer to her, approaching means coming closer to her, she would keep her hands behind her back, because she felt that maybe he would hit her again. And red color flew into her cheeks. Red color flew into her cheeks. Red color flew into her cheeks means she was angry. Her cheeks became red due to anger, because she carried a fear of her father in her mind. So whenever she saw father approaching or even coming closer to her, she carried that fear in her mind. She always felt that father again will come and hit her, punish her, or beat her with ruler. Whenever she saw her father, she got scared and her cheeks got full of red color. Her cheeks became full of red color means she became angry. Okay, children. Now coming to the next paragraph 9, you can see the McDonald's. See who are the McDonald's, children? See here the writer tells us about Kezia's neighbors. Okay, her neighbors were a family named McDonald's. So now you have know who are McDonald's. McDonald's were Kezia's neighbors. Okay, they were having a family, and the complete name of the family name was McDonald's. In all, the McDonald's had 5 children, and Kezia would always peep at them. Peep means she used to have a look, a quick look at them through a hole in the fence. Fence means boundary, having a cemented boundary. So through that cemented boundary around the house of McDonald's, there was a hole in that fence. So she used to look, peep through that to see what the McDonald's were doing. And what she saw through that hole, you know, children, she would see that the family had a lot of fun. They played a game called tag. What is tag, children? Tag is a children's game of catching one another, like we play catch. Okay, catching one another. So tag is a children's game of catching one another, like we play catch. So all the children along with their father would have a lots of fun. Mr. McDonald would make his little baby, that is Mao. Mao is the little baby of Mr. MacDonald, sit on his shoulders. And the two little daughters that he had, they would hang on to his coat pockets. So all the children were so much attached to the father. They loved him so much that they would stick to him, and then they would stick to him also, and then they would run around the garden, around the flower beds, and they would laugh, having lots of fun. Kezia also wanted to have such fun with her father, and she missed it. Now see children, when Kezia saw the happiness, the fun of MacDonald's family, she too was missing it. She too wanted such fun to have with her father, and she was missing all those fun. One day she saw that the little sons of Mrs. MacDonald's opened the hose on him. You know the meaning of a hose, children? Hose is the meaning of a water pipe. Okay, hose means water pipe. Understood the meaning? It is water pipe through which you open the tap, and the one end is connected to the water tap. When you open the tap, through that water pipe water goes, and you can do the rest wherever you want to, water plants or cleaning whatsoever. So she saw that they opened the water pipe and tried to make him wet. But Mr. MacDonald was not angry with them. See children, MacDonald also got interested. Children were pouring water through the water pipe, through that hose on MacDonald. But MacDonald did not get angry, as Kezia was thinking about her father, that her father every time becomes angry and start beating with a ruler. But MacDonald was not like that. He tried to catch MacDonald tried to catch the children, and he was laughing. So children, this was very strange for Kezia. You know why? Because her father was just the opposite of Mr. MacDonald. So everything about McDonald's was strange for Kezia, because her father was just opposite of Mr. McDonald's. Now coming to the next line, then you can see the next line, then it was she decided. Then it was she decided. See, now when Kezia saw Mr. McDonald's, she realized that he was quite opposite to her father. She felt that God had made various kinds of father. See children, earlier she said that what did God make her father for? And now she is thinking that God had made various kinds of fathers. One day Kezia's mother fell ill, so she was taken to the hospital. So Kezia's mother was sick, and Kezia's mother was taken to the hospital, and the grandmother also went along with her. So now who was there in the house, children? Now Kezia was all alone at home with the cook. What was the name of the cook? The name of the cook is Alice. Alice was the cook. Now Kezia was fine during the day, but at night when the cook put Kezia to bed all along, Kezia started feeling scared. She was fearing, she was afraid. When Alice put Kezia to her bed, Kezia started feeling scared. Coming to the next paragraph 10, see, what will I do? You can see I have a nightmare. Children, paragraph 10. Now children, what do you mean by nightmare? Nightmare meaning a frightening dream. You can also say a bad dream. Okay, a dream that frightens you. So a frightening dream or a bad dream. Kezia explained to Alice that whenever she had bad dreams, nightmares, she would go to her grandmother and she would sleep with her. So now nobody was there in the house, like her mother was not there, even grandmother was also not there. So Kezia explained Alice that whenever she had a nightmare, she used to sleep with her grandmother. So she said that she could not stay all alone in the dark because she would be scared. So Kezia told Alice that she cannot stay alone because she would be scared. She could hear different kinds of whispery. You can see the word given whispery. You know whispery meaning scary, which is frightening sounds, which made her feel that there was someone around her. So Kezia cannot sleep alone in the dark because she feels scary. And she also said that she used to hear so many different kinds of scary sound. And grandmother was not there, so now where to go to sleep now? So come to the next line, you just go to sleep. Coming to the last line, children. So Kezia's father was sleeping in the next room and Alice told Kezia to sleep quietly. She removed Kezia's socks and asked her not to scream, not to shout and wake her father. But Kezia was helpless. So Alice has already warned her not to shout and wake her father, and already Kezia was carrying fear in her mind about her father. But this time Kezia could not control. She was helpless. Now come to the next line, but the same. Wake your poor pa. Poor pa, you can see the line poor pa. Poor pa meaning what? Make her poor father. Pa means papa. We say short pa, like mama ma. So pa. So Alice has already warned her not to wake her poor pa, her father. But Kezia was helpless. See the next line, but the same old nightmare. So now this is a nightmare that Kezia had often. She would see a butcher. So this butcher would hold a big knife, a huge butcher's knife. You know butcher, children? Butcher meaning one who cuts animal, okay, for meat. They are known to be a butcher. So what was her nightmare? What did she see in the nightmare? What was her frightening dream? She saw a butcher. So this butcher would hold a big knife, a huge butcher's knife and a rope, and he would approach Kezia. Approach means was coming closer and closer to Kezia with a big knife and a rope. He had a dreadful smile. Dreadful meaning fearful smile on his face. Who has a fearful smile? The butcher had a fearful smile on his face. And once Kezia would see him, she would feel that she was unable to move. She was so much scared of him. She was terrified to see this butcher. And in her sleep, Kezia cried out. She shouted out. Okay, she shouted loudly for help. She called for her grandmother when Kezia woke up. Immediately she woke up from that nightmare and she started calling, "Grandma, Grandma, where are you?" She was also shivering. Shivering meaning she was also trembling. Her body was shaking due to fear. She was trembling and she saw that her father was standing next to her. When she opened her eyes, what did she see? She saw that her father was next to her bed and he was holding a candle in his hand. So Kezia's father had heard her screams, her shouts, and he had heard that Kezia was calling for her grandmother and he had come to help her. So father had come to help Kezia. Now father asked Kezia what was the matter, why she was screaming, what was the reason for screaming. So children, up to paragraph 10 we have completed up to paragraph 10. The rest paragraphs will be continued in the next video. Bye to you all.